Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. Just a moment to get the screen share going on. A little bit of a quiet start to the day today, where you can see the market leaving off yesterday at around the 58.70 area. A little bit of a rally through the overnight session, only to recover, and we're starting the day pretty much where we left off. So for a change, no opening gaps to deal with. Imagine that. The charts you're looking at here, of course, are the NASDAQ. And the way I have them set up, for those of you new in the room, I see we've got at least one new person in the room here this morning. Welcome. We've got the Hawk Scalper here on the top left, Falcon Swing Trader top right, Eagle Trend Trader bottom left, and of course the Raptor here on the bottom right. I encourage you to ask questions. If there's a market you would like to see, please don't be shy about requesting a market. These charts, the NASDAQ, I'm also watching the E-mini S&P as well as crude oil. And right now, we're just kind of on hold. The Hawk gave us a first micro-macro cross buy out of the open. That's right here. And it looks as though prices slipped high enough to find the profit target there. We also produced a trend change signal here on the Falcon, and we're still working that one. The Eagle and the Raptor both into the hard edges of the trading band. And you know, whenever we encounter the hard edge of the trading band, we always anticipate a reaction. So that's what I'm on the lookout for here. We had a trend change occur about an hour before the open. We had our cloud crossover signal. Just going into the open, we had a reversal signal, and the market has retraced to the hard edge. So we got a little bit of a mixed bag right now. Trade forecaster suggesting we're going to stay in trend mode for the next 2 hours. Well, that would certainly be something. I seem to remember this 58, 75, 76 region being near yesterday's highs, so we're kind of flirting with yesterday's highs as well. Didn't get a major reversal off that. And you can see we're producing a lot of green warning dots, a lot of buying pressure, or attempted buying pressure. Okay, there's our number 3 signal. This is our hard edge bounce. What time is it now? We're only about 4 minutes in the session. If you're going to try to take some of these early signals that develop near the open, you may want to reduce your profit objective a little bit. Treat it more like a scalp, just get in and out. Although this one is starting to lean a little bit to the short side. If I got a double pullback, I might try that, try to short that. All right, so here we come into the hard edge again. This actually a very extended number 2 signal, this one right here. Trend's not clearly defined yet, so you know, it's one of those trades. If you're going to try it, it's kind of like dipping your toe in the water, that kind of trade. Okay, so we're coming off of the hard edge again. This would now qualify as a double pullback if we produced another sell signal. Ooh, not going to get it. The buyers are getting a touch bullish. Okay, so you can see relative to this swing here and these lows here, we have produced another buy signal, another soft edge buy. That's the number 2 signal. All right, the eagle also producing a rule of 3. So I think we can anticipate a little bit of a push higher here. So the rule of 3 states that when you have, in this case, a bearish band, you get the market starting to produce counter trend signals. That third signal is normally the one where the market will start to rally. It must, however, be preceded by a test of the extreme. So in this case, we've got the low, we've got the retest of the low, we've got the failure, and here's the subsequent rally. We have another first micro-macro cross in the hawk, and we're about to produce a cloud crossover signal here in the raptor as well. You can anticipate this one. The signal should print right here. You could enter just above the high. Can I cover it below the low? No, I can't. So we'll need to do a compromise, maybe cover it down there to the hard edge. Oh, didn't quite get the signal yet. Still producing warning dots. So all I've done is I'm anticipating that this bar, when it finishes on the high, will produce the hash mark, because we've already got 3 warning dots. All right, so there we go. I actually got a positive slip. Let's see if I can run this one out a little bit, if we're going to have any upside momentum. I normally like to take profit on target, but sometimes early on in the day, those first signals, sometimes you can see the market get some early traction, and maybe, just maybe, we'll run it out a little bit further. Okay, so I'm just going to scribble a few notes here in my trading journal. Got to get above this hump here, above the 58.86 zone. If we can get above there, we should be in pretty good shape. There we go. Parabolics are one of those stop strategies I like to go to when I want to be a little bit more aggressive on a trade. they do a very good job of locking in profit or open profit. Not going to move to the parabolics just yet. I would like to see a couple more bars in my favor. I think I've hit my high probability profit objective. 83, did we tick 87? If not, we're close. Come on. So I'm doing my best to be patient with the trade, but I'm starting to lose patience. So I think I'm going to take the trade to break even. I know it's awfully tight, but I could also just take the profit, right? We've got a scalp profit there. We're going to get our swing profit. In fact, I think we just kissed it. No, not yet. Oh, at 88, 88.50 we need. This little block of selling that went through here on the Geiger counter kept pulling to the short side and not giving me any follow through. Made me nervous. Okay, so I've enabled the parabolic stops, and with a little luck, the market's not going to look back anymore and keep pressing higher. The Geiger counter keeps sucking here over to the short side. I'm halfway tempted just to grab my $50 and be done with. Patience, Eric, patience. So if I were running my profit objective with my auto break even, I would have tagged my auto break even at this point. So the results of this trade will be the same, whether I try to run it out or whether I try to take profit on target, because my profit was at 58.88 and so far we've come up a tick short of that. Sellers really trying to knock the buyers down here. And the reason I say that is you can just tell visually. I mentioned this before, but that is the one advantage day traders have over end-of-day traders is you can actually get a feel of the momentum of how the market is unfolding. Whether it's active, whether it's slow, whether the buying or selling seems aggressive. Everything else remaining bullish as well. All right, just need a little bit of luck. If it's not too late, I'll try to push the market up with my mouse. Come on, get up there. Get going. And now the parabolic strategy also here in the whole break-even neighborhood. So everything kind of lining up that if this trade heads lower, my end result would be the same. Still a tick short, or yeah, I guess a tick short of what would have been my profit target. A break above 58.88 quarter, where the market really seems to be holding. Next stop, 58.96 3/4. That will be the primary resistance zone. Come on, just give me a little bit of elbow room here. All right, so I would have just made my profit objective. All right, got a little bit of a break, and so far we're holding. keep trying to look back here. Well, they're plodding along, but we're making some headway. You can see my stops now at the high probability profit target. So if I get a couple of ticks higher here, then I would definitely have done better trying to run this trade out. I will be no worse off if the market reverses and tags me here. Okay, the parabolic's holding here a little. They haven't rolled up. I could go to a more aggressive stop strategy still, maybe something like the bar high-low. I wanted to protect even more open profit. I will leave that up to you to decide. Right now, I'll stick with the parabolics. If we get much more in open profit, or it seems like the market's going to try to reverse, well, then I may go to something like the bar high-low. Okay, so far, not a bad looking move. And we are in trend mode, so I'm trying to ride this out. You can see here on our Eagle trade, that rule of 3, no problem hitting the profit target there. And it looks like we're getting close to challenging the overnight highs and closer to the resistance zone here at 58.96 3/4. I could even throw in a profit objective there. Maybe I'll move into the bar high-low strategy now and just try to protect a couple of extra ticks of profit in case the market gives me an early reaction here to the 58.96 zone. Personally, I kind of like being in this trade. The market giving some very nice follow-through, kind of continuing from where it left off yesterday. Okay, well, so far, I think that was about as well as I could manage that trade. Just got stopped on a little reversal there. All right. Let's see. It looks as though they may try to give us a pullback now to the hard edge of the trading band. But it does appear as though the overall bias on the day is still bullish. So I think you're going to be off looking for buying opportunities rather than trying to short the market. Again, very similar to how things were yesterday. And this could very well be a reaction to the overnight highs also. Okay, well, we're in waiting mode. It is summertime after all. It's easy to forget that the markets do tend to be slower during the summer months. We're trading in slow motion. So you can see we don't have a whole lot going on right now. We've got yellow bars cropping up here on the Hawk and on the Raptor. That's suggesting neutrality. Falcon starting to turn over a little bit. Trend line starting to change color here. No real signals at the moment. Yeah, Stephen says it's not slow this summer. There was about a week or so there that the market was really, really brisk, wasn't there? Thanks, Ryman says the 50% retracement should see the market fade to the 58.80 area. And that, of course, also where the hard edge would be at. We're looking at a possible test of the extreme. The Geiger counter pulling really hard here to the short side. Peter says, good morning, Eric. Well, good morning, Peter. Peter asks, is anyone else having problems with the ultimate support and resistance lines? What problems are you having, Peter? If they're not loading, it's because you don't have enough data loaded. So you need to go to your data series, and you need to have at least 10 days of data. The only other thing, well, there really isn't much to set on the ultimate support and resistance suite. If your computer time zone is not set to your local computer, you can offset the time. They recalibrate at midnight New York time, which at my computer is 9 p.m. And you can see that's when the lines for the next day start to print. It's also, if you're having problems with anything like that, you can always contact Ben, and Ben's email is support@indicatorwarehouse.com. I'll send everybody his email. It's helpful if you send a screenshot. So to do that, you right-click on your chart, go down here to Image, and Save As, or you can just email it to him directly with a note. But it's very helpful for Ben if he can see exactly what's going on with your computer. We've produced a buy signal here on the Raptor. It doesn't really qualify as one of our high probability signals because it wasn't close enough to the hard edge to qualify as a hard edge bounce. Okay, we're holding here at the highs, essentially giving us a double top. The Geiger counter still pulling hard here to the short side. If we get a sell signal, that might be saleable. A little bit of follow through, again testing the high. So if the market turns here and produces a sell signal, like I said, that could be short. Way to go, Peter. Peter says, I just booked the tea time after taking $80 on the last run up, maybe a slow day after yesterday's run up. And I think you could be right. You know, we've seen the market, when it's moving, it makes its move a little bit early, which is why I tried to run this trade out a little bit further. And then it just kind of goes flat for the rest of the day. And the hawk gave us another first micro-macro cross signal right here. Could have bought on that one, but that's really the only other signal we've had. The buyers continuing to push higher. So it very much remains a buyer's market. All right, well, here they come again, leaning a little bit on the sell side, the band getting a little bit wider. And I don't want to get stuck like I did yesterday trying to short a market that was obviously in a very strong uptrend. However, today seems a little different. We're almost an hour into the session as well, so that's typically the time of the day that you'll see the market reverse against its morning trend, if there has been one, and I think today certainly qualifies. A move lower should be more of a scalp type of trade. Right now I can't really see the market unwinding a whole lot to the short side. go, Peter. Here's a great piece of advice from Peter, a great testimonial. Peter says, Eric, I can't stress how much your advice of fewer trades and more profits. There was a time where I would never do one trade per day. Yesterday, one trade, one contract, $1,100 profit. I'm going to enjoy my golf game. My number one rule now is no more than 3 trades per day. Overtrading will kill you. Definitely, it will kill you. Chasing all the signals, there's no shortage of signals. For those of you who haven't heard this story yet, I guess it's been a couple, 3 years now, not that it matters. A fellow came to me and he said, came to me for coaching. He was so excited. He said, I want you to show me how to take 100 trades a day. And I said, you'll never be a successful trader trading 100 times a day. It's not that I couldn't show him how to take 100 trades a day. It's actually quite simple. You just scale down. Here, I'll do this. We've got some time. I'm not going to show you any kinds of signals because I can just see somebody out there thinking this is a good idea. Oops. 1 second, did that wrong. Okay, so here you go. You scale down to a 30-second chart, you will easily get 100 signals a day. And, you know, on a day like today where the market's just kind of lumbering along, it looks like, hey, look at all the money I could have made. I could have bought this rally here. I could have bought more rallies up. I could have shorted here. I could have bought here. Could have shorted again here. Could have bought here. Could have shorted here, and so on it goes. That's fine on a day like today, maybe when the market's just moving very, very slowly. But you can't concentrate. You lose your edge. It's just too much. I know a fellow who did it, and he was so jacked up on coffee and nicotine that I thought he was going to give himself a heart attack. And it's totally unnecessary. It's just like Peter says here. You know, he was a person as well who liked to trade multiple times a day. And it's because we all get that production mentality. We all get it in our heads that if we do more, we'll earn more. No, not in trading, not in the trading world. So we're kind of hovering around the highs of the morning, around the resistance zone here at the 58.97 area. And like I said, if we get a reversal here, a sell signal, another test of the extreme, I might try a short. See, we had that big run up. Notice how much shorter this leg is relative to the first one. You can just see the momentum draining out of the market. Oh, and here come the sellers. Look at this buying or selling spike going through the market. That is some serious selling going on. Let's see, do we get a signal anywhere else? No, not yet. The Raptor could be the first to produce a short signal. takes a lot of pressure off as well. If you're only looking for 2 or 3 trades in a day, it gives you the luxury of waiting. We're still getting green warning dots. Haven't seen a red warning dot, not since down here. This wasn't really a saleable signal, but the market did slip low enough to produce a sell signal, which is interesting in and of itself. Oh gosh, yes. Paul mentioned it's oil inventory. The report's not doing much. Let's pull this over here. Here's crude. Slipped my mind. I thought about it earlier and totally forgot. And you're right. What a blah inventory release. So here it is. Nothing. Not catching crude oil by surprise at all. So far, the Hurricane Harvey not really affecting production or inventories. All those poor people down in Texas, my goodness, I still haven't heard from Adam. He headed to higher ground about a week ago, so I know he's safe. I have no idea what kind of condition his house is in, though. Natalia is watching a 50-tick chart. She says, I see a #1 long signal. Bear with me a moment. I'm going to try to build a 50-tick chart so we can see what you're seeing. Nice thing about the DTS system and the Raptor tools is that you can use them with other chart styles. You don't have to just use the indicator or warehouse mean wrinkle bars, although those are certainly recommended. Oh dear, Steve says, I have a friend who lives in Houston and he just bought a new home and the escrow closes this Friday. Yes, Steve says, ugh. Ugh is right. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, come on, 50-tick chart. Here we go. I moved it too soon. Hopefully I won't crash the computer. There we go. Okay, so I think I need to reformat my chart a little bit. You can see my clouds are a little bit of a mess. I won't play with the settings right now. But again, it's just interesting that you can use the tools with different formats. You can use it on a time-based chart, tick charts, you'll still generate your signals. See, here we are with the 5-minute chart. And you can see we produced a short signal, the number 2 signal here, number 1 signal to short here, number 1 signal to buy here. All right, enough of that. Oh, sorry, Natalia says, it was a mean Renko 50 tick, not just a 50 tick chart. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I can see that. You know, the 50 ticks, it would condense a lot of this activity, and you could be producing a buy signal now. The cloud crossover. And we're still going sideways. Great comment here from Ryman. Ryman says, Eric, I remember when you said as a new trader, try to make it a 10-tick profit per day. That would be like a $50 profit in the NASDAQ or $100 in some of the other instruments. Ryman says, I tried that a long time ago. What that did for me from you was I learned to establish my confidence. I only take no more than 2 trades per day. Confidence is huge, of course. Good to hear, Ryman. I'm glad you guys listen to me. Not many people listen to me around here. All right, here's the number 2 signal. Oh, there it is. Are you going to come back and give it to me? Oh, you stinker. Should have just hopped on board. Well, I might be able to catch it on a limit. Here we go. We're going to try this. Not recommended, but for the sake of the room, we're going to try a limit here. See if they look back, fill me on the limit, and then try to head lower. Oh, come on. No. No, I may have missed that entry there. I saw it coming. I suppose I should have just parked an order. Target, the hard edge, high probability target halfway through there. And I think I would be content with that. We're a few minutes late on the reversal. Not that that's a major reversal. Not yet anyway. Kind of heading back toward this little swing low here from a half hour ago. Or trying to. They might fill me on that limit order yet. A little bit of a hiccup. Here we are within a tick again, a couple of ticks of my order. this could actually develop into a hard edge bounce. Come on. Oh, they kissed it. It's a limit order. Oh, there we go. It's a limit order, so it actually has to trade a tick above before it will fill me. Like I say, this is not recommended. I'm just doing it for the sake of the room to demonstrate this number 2 signal. And you can see the way it's laid out. I would have been tagged here at break even as the market came and hit my break even trigger. I'm going to roll my break even just below that swing low there. We might have to hold on to this one for a little bit until it finally comes around and tries to head lower again. We may see a larger test of the high, something a little bit more drawn out. Here we go. All right, so now we're getting another soft edge sell, the warning, the pre-signal. The background highlights, I've mentioned this before, but if you're having difficulty anticipating the signal prompts, make your background highlights a little bit darker. I'll show you how to do that here in a moment after the trade finishes. Come on. You know you want to. Let's go. So 58.88, a little bit of a stumbling block. If we can get below that low, we should have no trouble hitting our profit objective. All right. Oh, I was just about to chicken out on the trade. Okay, now I'm going to take it to break even. There we go. That's all you get. Last chance. The proper stop does remain up here. All right, so as I mentioned, these background highlights will print when you get your pre-signal, that little warning up there. But you can see sometimes they're a little bit difficult to see. So if you right-click on your chart and you go to your indicator window and you click on your Raptor settings and you pull down here to the bottom, you can change background opacity. And well, let's try making it number 4. That's a little better. So this will stand out a little bit more now when those signals, those pre-signals are starting to build. If you like the changes, make sure you save the template. And now when you load your Raptor charts, you will have the darker backdrop. All right, and now we're getting the hard edge buy signal building. So the buyers coming back, pressing against the highs of the morning. The trend has been up. Can I cover it down there? No, doggone it. All right, well, if we do a second push entry, maybe we can try to get a little bit more out of this. Market's kind of backing itself into a little bit of a corner, though. If we come back now with a number 2 signal, it's almost certain that the market will continue lower from there. Last push higher, maybe? Okay, trend's working out so far. And they owe me another tick here. They slipped me a tick. There we go. Oh, come on. Just a couple more ticks. Natalia's number 1 signal on the 50 tick mean Renko chart should be getting a little bit of traction now as well. Hooray for us. Quick little move to the upside. Looks like there might be a little bit more follow through on that as the trend continues to press. I'm okay with my profit. The market's just a little lackluster right now. Hey, way to go, Natalia says, I got my 35 ticks. Nicely done. Okay, well, we are in wait mode again. Market's still in trend mode, and we've seen that. When the market is in trend mode, not only does it mean that the market will be progressing, but that the pullbacks will tend to be rather subdued and probably not that frequent. We did get, a period here of about half an hour where the market was stagnant, but it wasn't a major pullback. It wasn't like, well, not even these qualify. It wasn't a day like this. This is almost guaranteed the market was in scalp mode, where you got really violent pullbacks, deep pullbacks. Okay, back in waiting mode. Yeah, it's going to be a little while before we get another signal. We're going to close here with Ryman's comments or question. Ryman asked, Eric, what's that 50 tick chart you were talking about? Well, I guess Natalia runs a 50 tick mean Renko. Now, when you do that, you're probably going to have to change your Raptor clouds as well. Although I don't know if she did. It looks like her signal came right there. Natalia, do you expand your clouds also, or do you just run with your clouds like this? Because I can show you how to expand the clouds. It looks like the 50 tick giving you a really broader view of the market. Some decent follow through on these signals as well. Okay, well, I guess Natalia, oh, there she is. Ah, I see. Okay, so Natalia says she runs hers just like this, but to zoom in, she enters on an 8 tick chart, which is our default setting. And that's okay too. You know, you can run multiple charts like this, kind of give you a different perspective of where the market might be going. Yeah, so there's the number 1 signal, and I guess she took her entry off of the default. All right, boys and girls, we're gonna button things up here for the day. We're kind of getting into that lunch hour period where things are likely to get slower still. The market's still bullish. You know, I would keep buying on the pullbacks, wait for those hard edge bounces. At least until the market shows me a full-on reversal, and I would not be surprised to see another pullback. We're kind of getting a little long in the tooth here to the upside without the sellers at least showing up and trying to knock the buyers down. So caution is in order. Favor the upside when in doubt. All right. I will see you again tomorrow. We will talk to you then. Bye for now.